guys, welcome back. So today I am going to be reviewing or doing a first impressions and look on the Beauty Creations Elsa palette. And this palette is like the sister to the Olivia palette that I reviewed or tried out a couple of videos back. So anywho, I'm going to be talking about this palette. Like I said, this is a Beauty Creations palette. It is a very large palette, and as you can see, it has a really pretty decorative cover. It has kind of like the little twinkles or whatever on here, and it says Elsa. Now, just like the Olivia palette, this one does not have a mirror either. It does say Beauty Creations and Elsa with the same decorative cover right here inside, and these are all of the shades that are in this palette. Now, as you can see with this palette, it does have a lot of beautiful warm reds and browns over here, as well as some gorgeous purples and blues, even some greens in here, as you can see, as well as your nice light highlighting shades, your transition shades, and some deep darker shades down here that you can use to smoke out your look if you like, or create a smoky look. Now, this palette, I must say, out of the two, this one and the Olivia palette, I do prefer this palette, not necessarily because of the color scheme, although you guys know I do love me some blues and purples, but this palette to me is more pigmented. Now, with this palette, I didn't have any issues whatsoever with pigment, blending, you know, getting the colors to pop or anything like that. As you can see, I have a pretty bright look on my eyes today, but I actually really love it. I love these blues in here, are absolutely gorgeous, and the purples are gorgeous as well. Even the light shimmer shades are nicely pigmented. Now, when I created this look, as you can see, I did a cut crease today, and I went in with some of the matte blues on the cut crease and some of the purples in my crease area. But this shade here, I started out with on my upper eyelid, and it's actually kind of like a satin shade, so I didn't really know how it was going to blend out with it being a satin or more shimmer like shade, but this one blended out extremely nicely on my upper lid into this deep dark matte purple. Now, there wasn't very much fallout in the pan when I used this palette, just a tiny bit, what you would normally expect from very pigmented shadows, and there was just a teeny bit of fallout when I was placing some of the colors, like the darker shadows on my lid, a tiny bit of fallout. So you definitely might want to do your eyes before you do your complexion. I have my complexion on first today before doing my eyes because I'm actually testing out a foundation. So if I look a little bit shiny or greasy, it's because I'm not able to blot and powder and all that stuff, because I'm actually doing a review on this foundation. So look for that as well. Now, I'm actually quite surprised at this palette because to me it performed a lot easier and nicer than the Olivia palette, and the Olivia palette really isn't that bad. I was able to create this look super easy, and I didn't really have any issues. Now, with this palette, it doesn't say on here the weight or grams of the shadows, so I'm sorry I can't give you that from the palette. It is cruelty free, and they do list the ingredients on this palette, and just like with the Olivia palette, this one does have talc and mica, so if you are allergic to those, just be aware of that. I almost forgot to do some swatches for you guys but this is the first half of the Elsa palette swatched. Okay, and so this is the second half of the palette swatched. But those are just my thoughts on this palette, just from my first impression. I really like it. I did purchase this from Shop Hush, and I paid $20 for mine, but I did notice that it is on Amazon for about $14.99, so I will put a link down in the description box if you would like to purchase it from Amazon and save a few bucks. But I really like this palette, so if you'd like to see how I created this look, then stay tuned because it's coming up next.